The best exercise for shoulders, without a doubt for me, over the last 10 years that I've been in fitness, is the seated dumbbell lateral raises. This one exercise has completely transformed my body and added more than 5 inches to my shoulders. In this video, I'll show you specific things that I do and think about when I execute this exercise, and I'll show you some specific, interesting variations that I'm doing right now to add more intensity and save time in the gym as a busy professional. I've tried probably more than 100 exercises, to be honest, for the last 10 years, and I love exploring different angles and resistance curves. But the exercise I do 70% of the time is this one. Depending on how you do it, it will engage the front or back of your shoulders, and I'll show you that. Your upper chest, as well as your traps and triceps. This will give you a complete look, and that aesthetic look even when you have more body fat. But there are a few important things I wish I knew earlier, and I'll share those with you. Let's go and get it. Before we get into the workout, I wanted to give you a couple of things that may help you leading up to your workout that I know, even after 10 years, I still need to remember. One, drink water. It will make you stronger, it'll help you with your joints and overall performance. Two, mentally switch in the zone as early as you can, but not too long. Don't just stay in your car for too long. I use my drive to the gym to mentally slow down the time and zone everything out. And three, if I need to do cardio after or just to get my body warm, I'll do 10 minutes before I go into the weights so I get my cardiovascular strength ready for intensity in my workout. So as you can see here, I'm doing some incline machine. I like to do chest with shoulders, and I alternate on push days. Some days I'll focus more on chest, some days more on shoulders. Getting in touch with your mind is such a beautiful thing. I cannot understate how important it is to mentally get into your set, slow down the time, to truly get into that flow state where you don't just make body gains, but mind, soul, life gains that you can take into every area of your life. As you can see here, I'm particularly paying attention to the tempo. So when I work out chest, I really focus on doing incline movements, and particularly when I know that I'm going to hit shoulders as well as part of this workout. I know that by doing this exercise, the front of my shoulders will get a workout. If I control the weight and I deliberately, with intention, executing one rep at a time, it doesn't matter how much weight you see up there, it's gonna be difficult. Starting your workout with incline will really give you a different sensation. Get uncomfortable. Switch it up a little bit. Sometimes start off with a lower chest movement, sometimes with a cable movement, sometimes with push-ups. Play around with it. Have fun. Explore. Focus on the execution and fall in love with the process. So in this particular workout, before I went onto the seated dumbbell lateral raises for shoulders, I did 3 chest movements. So as you saw me doing the incline machine press, really focusing on not allowing my ego to be a liability and allowing my ego to be an asset by completely controlling the weight with perfect form and tempo. And then the second exercise was this flat press variation. I really love how it allows me to position my back as well as my hand on that handle that you see up there. I added a band that allowed me to have a different resistance curve with more pressure at the top of the movement. Before you get into your set, it's good to warm up your shoulders in different plane of motion, whether it's going backwards or going forward, going upwards, down, and not always at an angle. So the last chest exercise that I did was this incline variation movement. So as you can see, I'm paying a close attention to how I'm positioning myself, getting into or under the weight, if you will, because the way you position your upper back onto the pad and pushing your feet into the ground in a way that your chest is going to be angled upward is not only essential, it is everything. It allows you to truly protect your shoulders, but also build strength in a way that targets the muscles that you want to prioritize. You'd be surprised when you change the way you hit the muscle. Some days you hit it with heavy weights, normal pace. Some days you slow it down. Some days You get decelerate on the negative, and then you accelerate. Some days you do static holds. But always focus on the stretch. That's a skill that you gotta build, the range of motion. Because when you fully stretch your chest, that's when you truly recruit the fibers. And that's how you're gonna look good even when you have body fat on. I did one last set of this finisher. I don't count it as an exercise. For me, it's just bringing blood into the muscle before I go into the seated lateral dumbbell raises and finish with my shoulder workout. But you can see here, I'm paying really close attention to the negative, bringing the weight down in a very slow way and the stretch at the bottom. The way I count my reps is I count it when it's at the bottom and it's done on the way up. So now you're ready to make gains on top of gains with the seated lateral raises. A few things to think about. I bring the weight thinking about my elbows being above my wrists, keeping my lower body stable, and not collapsing my chest on the way down. I make sure that when I bring the weight down, I stop right before it hits my thighs. Here you can see that I'm adding some intensity technique by doing a superset with curls. Shoulders and arms is a great combination, as a lot of you guys may already know. In between workouts, I usually take about a 20 to 40-second rest. That is because I'm a busy professional, but for me, shoulders is a lot about conditioning, making sure that I add a lot of blood into the muscle, and so using multiple intensity techniques is extremely important. In the first clip that I had in this video, I did a triple drop set, which means I started at a weight that I probably could do only 8 reps, really hard reps, and then I brought it down by about 10 pounds, did it to failure, and then I brought it down again and did it to failure again. The way you hit failure is a skill, because with dumbbells on an exercise like that, you can do it safely, but you have to build how you fail. This is something that you have to be cognizant about, and you have to put yourself in that situation mentally. Here you can see that I'm supersetting my lateral raises with some alternating front raises as well. Again, to add more intensity and to fit my workout all within 40 minutes to an hour in that day. So on my top set, I really bring the intensity to another level by focusing on the form. But you can see here, my chest is up. I make sure that I keep my neck neutral and that I really focus on controlling the negative as much as possible. One thing that I think about when I do this exercise is 3 variations. One, the more I bring the weights towards the front, the more I'll target the front delts. The more I start closer to my knee and bring it low backwards, the more I'll target the rear delts. The higher I bring it, the more it's going to target my traps. And usually I try to bring my elbows right around shoulder level. A lot of times when we try to control the weight, we don't have a weight that is heavy enough. And so a lot of people, including me, have made the mistakes of choosing a weight in the name of controlling the weight, but it's not challenging us enough. And you gotta set your own pace. You gotta set your own pace. Use your gym as a training ground for life, and not just for the muscle. So in my next video, I'm gonna show you how you can use different machines and cables in order to replicate this type of movement that's gonna target the width of your upper body by giving you 3D delts that are gonna make you look good from the front, from the side, and the back. When you think about your body, it's all about proportions. So having a balanced workout and really bringing in the consistency, the frequency, and the intensity together with your lifestyle, the things you eat, your carbs, your protein, and most importantly, how much invested you are mentally into this life of gains. You can do anything you set your mind to. Wherever you are, wherever you're from, fam, you're destined for greatness. You're busy living.